So the secrets have finally been lifted. Gaijin has finally announced the name of the next major update, which has cleverly been called the Sons of Attila, which is very fitting, I think. But welcome back to yet another talking head video, but in this one, I'm going to be doing an overview of the next major updates dev server because Gaijin has given me access to the majority of what's going to be coming. Now, I say it like that because there's a lot more that we're not seeing yet, but those data miners are working at full bore right now. But as always, I would like to start off this video with a quick disclaimer, and that is, this is the dev server. Everything you'll be seeing, everything I'll be talking about, giving my own opinions on, are subject to change. The vehicles themselves, the BRs, certain features of certain vehicles, as well as where they're placed in what tech tree, is always going to be subject to change. So please take everything I say with a gigantic grain of salt. And also, if you disagree with something in the dev server, Gaijin is very open to you guys' criticism now, especially since that, you know, back in June when we had all this boycotting and issues, downvotes, etc., which did change their perspective on the community quite a bit. They are looking into this. If you guys want some more information on it, I will have a dev server link download, I guess, down below in the description. Check it out and then take the information you get and take it over to Gaijin and let them know what you think about certain things. So without further ado, let's start off with the Americans. I gotta do a jump cut here just for timestamp purposes, so here it is. I know the jump cuts are a little awkward, I get it sometimes, but it makes the post-processing for me just that much easier and keeps things organized too. But anyways, let's jump into this right here. The first one being is the American F-16C variant, which I think Gaijin said they're probably gonna change. I don't know, the technical moderators, which I'll be honest, I don't really trust too much, they said that this may not be the final variant. Now, what makes this different? It's got a much more powerful engine. I mean, a significant one. Now, of course, I don't have this spaded, so I can't really show you at the time, for the time being, excuse me. But as you can see right here, you get the lightning pod with Gen 2 or Gen 3 thermal sights, last I heard. Oh man, just if this is the same one I think found also on the Mirage, I'm sure it's not the exact one, but that's gonna be really nice, okay, because that thing's an amazing ground pounder. You do get laser guided bombs, which is awesome. You only get the these are new ones. Hey, this is laser guided. All right, well, there's that too. You also get the Paveway 3s, which are huge bombs. I mean, oh my goodness. The explosive mass isn't the best, but, you know, kind of is what it is. You also get the 65Ds and single, as well as pairs of 3 right here. I don't like Mavericks, personally. They don't work out too well for me. You also get, of course, AIM-9Ls and the AIM-7Ms. I think later on, Gaijin is going to give this thing better air-to-air missiles, probably the later versions of the AIM-9s, which, after getting the R-73 for the Russians, which we'll get to in a second, I would well imagine they would. Now, next up, we have the OH-58D. Oh my goodness, this thing is ugly. You know what this looks like? It looks like the face from was it 9? The movie 9, I think it is. It just, I'll have a picture right up here next to it, but it looks so weird, right? Kind of a Tiger UHT situation where you get to be in a, I'm gonna say it like this, a hold down position behind a mountain, if that makes sense for a helicopter. I don't think it does. But you basically get to poke this up, just eyeball around, and boom, you get to use whatever missiles it's got, which it does get. Hellfires, and wow, that is a weird looking gun. Is that right? That looks so weird. Okay, these pictures are weird. Gosh, but you only get up to 4 Hellfires, excuse me, which are the K variants, which are very nice. Next up, we also have, when you get thermal sights and whatnot, the Chaparral. The Chaparral? Oh my goodness, I can't even say it, to be honest. You get a new anti-air system. Israel gets this one too. Let's see this missile, right? Let's see the 72C, 18G overload, launch range 6 kilometers, all aspect 3. The stock ones, you don't get all aspect, only in rear. And that's really it. So basically another IR guided missile. Does it have, really quick, I didn't see that. It does not have countermeasure protection. Okay, so no ECCM on this bad boy, unfortunately, for either one, which is nice. You know, I get it, right? We'll talk more about Israel in a quick second. Cool, 9.3, awesome, open crew. Oh my goodness, just Attack of the Clones, I swear, right? Going over to the naval side of things, which I have been personally enjoying as of late. I've given so much more respect to naval now because I've been genuinely enjoying it, and I feel kind of bad that I've been saying what I say, but moving on, you do get the USS Texas. Yes, big guns, good armor. What's not to love? I don't speak boat that often, so I'm sorry. And you also get a premium Arkansas. Is this premium? I'm pretty sure it's premium. Yes, you get a premium BB. Not exactly thrilled for a top tier vehicle being premium, but you know, it's naval, so I guess I can make an exception. And moving on to Germany, we have something that was teased, I think, at the beginning of the last update or before the Leopard 2 PSO. Now, I'm very happy over the fact that we're getting this as a tech tree vehicle. I swore we were going to be getting some sort of event vehicle, crafting event or something being this, which would have been absolutely frustrating. Now, it's not complete. The armor's not done on it. I can show you the penetration values, but it's like toilet paper right now because nothing is modeled correctly. But basically, you get a Leopard 2A5 with more armor. Think of it as the 122, but I would say sort of better, but there's no armor up here, of course. You get a 50 cal top-mounted machine gun, which is awesome. I mean, yes, 50 cal is amazing. And I also thought this was going over to the Italians, but I'm glad they are getting it for the Germans because you guys need it. It's the same as you find with the 2A5, DM53, Gen 2 thermal sights for the commander, Gen 1, I believe, for the gunner. I'm pretty certain it is going to be Gen 1, but you got a lot more armor in the sides. This isn't going to protect you much against APFS DS, but it's going to help against heat rounds. Those stock players who don't have darts yet are going to have a hard time for the most part. The upper front plate should be sort of comparable to that of maybe the 122, but that really remains to be seen until this is complete. Now, next up, we have the MI8TB. Oh man, this thing is pretty. I'm sorry. It's ugly in its own right, but it's gorgeous to me. All right, what's it get? You get the Malyukta. I can't even say it. ATGMs, 3 kilometer engagement distance. This thing's gonna be a giant bus for the most part. 140 meters a second. You get really. Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, that's in all honesty, I'm excited for this, but you know, it's a giant bus. Think of it as an MI4, but bigger. I think. And next up, we have some boats. Of course, we have a new. Which type is this again? This is a battleship. Okay, so it's a BB. Yeah, there's that for the Germans. Cool. I'm excited for it. The Russians also get this too. We'll get more into that in a quick second. And then of course we have this thing which is holy ugly. This thing is terribly ugly. Okay, cool. There it is. Probably not going to be something I'm going to get into, but definitely we'll look into for sure. So let's jump over to the Russians. So I think this is going to be the age of the artillery. I mean, granted, we're getting a bunch of new things, right? But artillery pieces are really coming into play in War Thunder. This one is no exception, the 2S1. Gaijin already showed this off in the dev stream, of course, as well as everything else, but I'll go through it myself, which, of course, this thing has heat FS, it gets fragmentation round, it gets a proxy round, which you can use against low-flying aircraft, helicopters, although you really won't run into helicopters around this BR anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Not really huge on the artillery pieces, in my honest opinion, but maybe this will definitely change my mind. But as you can see, the Russians also get the Mi-8TV, which is very awesome. Same loadout, pretty much same everything for the most part. I don't think there's much of a difference here. Battle rating 8.3, really cool. But here's where things get a lot more interesting. The MiG-29 SMT, which when it comes to flight performance, I don't know the differences. I didn't look into it. But what I do know for a fact is we not only get R73s with some crazy all aspect performance, you know, thrust vectoring nozzle. This thing is just, you can fire behind you almost. I think another creator did that as a short, and it was hilarious to see it. Granted, they're not OP as hell. They can still be flared, so on and so forth. But we also get the 27 ET missiles, which is an IR guided, also has ECCM, which is very nice. I don't really know what the use of this is for. Maybe just long range stuff. I don't know. I'll let you know, air nerds out there figure that out for me, but we get new missiles. That's really awesome. And also we get TV guided bombs, which are awesome. These things are amazing. Trust me, I've used this. I'm glad to use it on such a very versatile platform, which is the MiG-29. It's strong, it turns well, it dogfights very well, and we get TV guided bombs. I'm super excited. I don't talk about the rest, to be honest, because they have no interest to me, but this has me really, really excited. Pairing it with some R73s. Oh yeah, this is going to be my go-to aircraft, which is going to replace my MiG-29 as it currently stands. And then next up, we have the the TO-55. It's a T-55 with the flamethrower. That's it. That's the only thing, right? It's awesome. Just flamethrowers are useless in War Thunder, okay? They're just for shits and giggles. You get everything else as you would with the regular T55. Actually, you don't get a APFSDS? I thought you did. Well, it is battle rating 8.0, so I guess I can understand that. So 8.3 for the tech tree version. But BR412D is an amazing round. You also get no laser rangefinder. Okay, so no optical, nothing. All right, this is balanced in my opinion. Get this. This is new. Never seen this shell before. All right. I mean, I would run for the 412B and then get as quickly as you can the 412D, but that's just me. I'll have a private video on this, or excuse me, a personal video on this later on when it drops. Cool. Awesome. And the next up, we have another battleship. And oh boy, is this a battleship? I have to make sure it's a battleship. Okay. Battle cruisers, battleships, they kind of look alike to me. Cool. Another big boat. Probably won't get it myself, but hey, you know what? That's fine. What is this, a premium? It's a premium. Don't judge my tech tree. All right, let's go to the British. So it looks like the British are getting some Russian love. Oh yes, they are getting the Bishma. No, it's not Russian, it's Indian. I get it, right? India and Russia are pretty close. They work together. I know they were working together on the Su-57. You know, India pulled out, blah, 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 right? Politics. But they're getting a T-90. And it's not the best by any stretch. I mean, oh, just look at that plow, dude. That dozer, oof, this is pretty. I love this. I can't wait to get the Abrams that has something similar to this, using the second Gulf War, I think it was. And man, this looks really pretty. But you don't get the Stora APS, which is the first thing I noticed. You do get, of course, Contact 5 ERA all over the place, which can be broken as all hell. In place of the Stora, you get more Contact 5, which mitigates a little bit against APFSDS. So the big weak spots, which was behind the Stora, of course, a little bit, those were kind of fixed for the most part. You still get great sights, you still get decent performance mobility wise, etc. This thing can travel pretty quick. You don't get access to the higher APFSDs, to the better ones. And as much as many of you guys may disagree with that, why isn't it getting SVNets, etc., I get it, right? The Swedish with their T80U, they don't get access to the better shell for their, the T80, of course, but you only get the Mango round and the missiles, and that's really it. So this, in my opinion, is going to be a very balanced T90. And it's a squadron vehicle, which means that if there's any room in my 3 squadrons, we always get the 20,000 points every 3 days. So if you want to jump on in, I'll make some room and clear out some of the inactives if you guys are interested, okay? Look up JPS TV. You can't miss it, I promise. And then we have the Sea Harrier, Sea Harrier FRS 1. It's another Harrier. That's it. That's all I know about it. What's it got? Okay, it gets 9 Ls. Interesting. And 9 Gs. Not many bombs. All right, you know what? I'm not a huge fan of the Harriers nowadays. They're okay, but not my go-to anymore. And at 10.3, oof, that's going to be fun. But let's go over to the sad Japanese. I'm sorry. I am so sorry, my Japanese mains. You guys aren't getting much love today. You really aren't. You're only getting a boat. I mean, I can't find anything else, right? I don't really play much with boats for the Japanese. I still love playing naval anyways on my downtime, but just not really worthwhile for that. I can't find anything for you guys. You might get something new. All right, you need a new SPAA. I know. I trust me. I hate playing with a Type 93 at top tier. It drives me absolutely up a wall. Okay, so Gaijin, please, them in anti-air. You're doing it for Israel. Give it to the Japanese, and maybe something new to play with, a new IFV. I don't know. Give them something. All right, let's go to the Chinese. Now, this one has me very interested. The MBT 2000 for the Chinese. This thing, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the looks of the T-72s, the Chinese and Russian tanks, T-80s, etc. But man, just this one, it's ugly. It's real ugly, but it's pretty. It's just like, let's just strap ERA on the sides right here, but I don't know. It's weird to me, but I love it. But here's the thing about this vehicle, right? Battle rating 10.0, but you have, look at this mobility, 69 going forward, nice, 31 in reverse. I don't think this is going to stay at 10.0. All right, I think this is going up to like 10.7 or something. It's definitely not going to stay here because you also have firepower. Look at that. You get the top shell that you would find for the Chinese at 11.7. Just, no, it's not staying 10.0. I almost guarantee you. Frag round, you get the better 125 as a tier 1 modification. You get the proxy round, if I didn't already mention that. And you get thermal sights, and the sights on it in general, 6 to 11. Oh, come on, Gaijin, really? It's broken too. Yeah, this thing is definitely going to move up in BR for sure. What's the turret traverse on its stock? 27, vertical targeting, 10 degrees, can be a bit better, so probably like 13 degrees or so. Yeah, this is not staying there. Just saying. And much like the Americans, we're also getting the OH-58D for the Chinese as well. Very nice. Any difference? No. Gets the Hellfires, gets everything. I think it's missing one gun that we saw earlier, and you get Stingers. Cool. Ideally, I'm going to carry just Hellfires on this thing and just hope no one comes my direction to fight me. But, you know, at 10.3, not bad. And then, of course, we get the M41A3 at 5.0. This is pretty. It's a tech tree vehicle, too. Why is this so pretty? I love the camo netting on it. Can we get more of those, Gaijin, please? It gets the M339 shot round, which is a very good round. You also get fragmentation smoke rounds you'll probably never use. It's a decent round for 5.0. I mean, granted, you have no armor. You're going to die. Simple as that. Anything that shoots at you pretty much short of an autocannon is going to kill you. Just saying. Anyways, let's go over to the winners of this update, the Italians. I almost ran out of slots for how many vehicles they're getting right now, and I do have the 11th crew slot as well, and that's I'm fortunate to have that for sure. Not sure if it's attainable anymore. But anyways, point being is the Italians are getting a lot of new things. And let's start from bottom to top, shall we? Or from top to bottom, actually, if that kind of makes sense, with the exception of the ZSU-23-4 and the ZSU-57-2, which we'll get to in a quick second. But battle rating 1.3, you get this ugly heckin' machine. That's it, okay? I don't think it's free-handed stabilizer, is it not? I don't think it is. No. Why is the commander manning the big gun, but the gunner is manning the machine gun? Oh, okay. You know, we'll leave it like that. And then we have the battle rating 2.3 Terran 1, which is a Panzer IV looking tank. It's pretty in its own right. I might actually play this myself. Maybe not do a video on, but just to play. And then we have the Zrinyi 2. I don't even know how to say it, to be honest. I am sorry to my Hungarian Italian friends, okay? And then we have the Terran 3, which is a bigger version of the one with a huge gun. Holy crap, what's the pen on this thing? Not bad. At 3.7, the armor. Not bad for this BR, you know? Angling? Yeah. All right, I mean, that's a big forehead. I would know, trust me. And then we also have the 2S1, which is pretty much the same one found on the Russian tech tree. Nothing really different about this. You get heat FS, you get proxy round, frag round. Cool. And then we get the BTR-80A, a very well-known, very familiar vehicle. Is this actually modeled as armor? I think it might be, to be honest, the sandbags. Cool. What's new about this? APDS? That's it. Yeah, it's the exact same thing as the Russian one. And then as we move forward, we get the T-72M1, a very familiar plate. Most likely has the 1983 or 1981 plate found for the Russians and stock for the Swedish Finnish lineups. So that's really interesting. What else does it get? 3BM22, 3BM15, basically an average T-72 M1. And then we have a copy-paste Leopard 2A4. That's it. It's legitimately the same thing. You get TM13, 23, Tier 1 modification, Heat FS is a stock round, Gen 1 thermal sights, no commander sight, or excuse me, no thermal sight for the commander. In fact, yeah. So it's a Leopard 2A4. You should know this. And then we also have a brand new, at least in my opinion, it's going to be the star of the show, the KF-41 with an active protection system. I'm pretty sure, yes, this is a hard kill system, which is not modeled in the game quite yet. Think of this as the Puma, but worse. Much, much worse. It is faster. It has armor. It had maybe not as much as the Pumas. All right, it's not done yet. But you also get the Spike LR2s, which is pretty much the same one I believe we find with the Italian Freccia, or at least around there anyways. I forget the name of it, to be honest. Fire and forget missile. Lock on like you would with the Freccia, the QN506, or the UHT. Fire it, forget it, you're good to go. Doesn't always work. It works, but not well. But yeah, think of this as the Puma. Just faster and bigger and probably stronger too. This is going to be interesting, of course. And next up, we have copy-paste. ZSU-23-4. Nothing special, at least not from what I could find anyways. Same BR. And the ZSU-57-2, which I did see Mike show this in the dev server. They do get a melon camo. Is this a, yeah, is that it? Wait, no. No, it is that one. Okay. Yeah, just Do this. Yes! Watermelon camo. That's awesome, dude. Oh, man, this is great. So let's go over to the French. We get another Leclerc. That's it. It's the same thing as the previous ones. It has a little bit more armor. You know, it can mitigate well against heat effects for the most part. Any sort of ATGM, maybe not the tandem warheads fired from, say, the Kriz or something. This will do well. Personally, I don't really see much of a use for it at top tier anyways, but that's just me. You get the same firepower, which is a big shame. You get the 120 F1. I think we're ready for the F2. Okay, I think we are. And I know some of you guys might hate me for saying that. We also get a top-mounted gun here, which, you know, the French don't get a top-mounted gun at all. So having even a 7.62 as a top-mounted, you know, for anti-air capabilities, yeah, I'll take it. I really will. Does it get a laser warning? It does not. Okay, another Leclerc. I'm looking forward to it. Not super crazy over it, right? And then we have the AMX-10M, which is, you know, this reminds me of the VT-12, but just with a bigger gun, actually. Is it a bigger gun? Yeah. It fires the Acro missile, which isn't bad, to be honest. At 7.3, excuse me, it's actually a really good BR for it. It does very well. It can one-tap almost everything it shoots at, and there's very few things that can mitigate against that missile. So, hell yeah, top-mounted 20mm gun. Cool, I guess. What's the pen on it? It's actually pretty good. Oof. Don't get caught on side by this thing. Yeah. So let's go over to the Swedish. So there's only two things I can find. The PVKV4. Let's see the firepower. I haven't seen this yet. I kind of skipped this over in the dev stream. You get a Sabo. You get the, oof. This is not good. APHE BC. What? Ballistic cat. Okay. That's a weird way to go about it, but sure. Yeah. What's his battle rating? 3.7. Not a huge fan of these, to be honest. They're fun. They're interesting to look at, but not really my thing. But here's the interesting one. The Vidar. You know what? Listen, it's an artillery piece. It looks like a paladin for the most part, but it isn't. It's a South Korean tank, pretty much, for Sweden. Is it for Sweden? For Norway. Okay, you know what I mean here, okay? This thing, I don't agree with it. 7.7, that's a low BR. They're going to change that. And here's why I don't agree with it. It's got a 10-second reload rate, but you get a laser rangefinder. It is the only artillery piece that I could find that has a laser rangefinder like this. Of course, Gaijin is showing the new settings right here. I'll get more into that at the end of the video. You get smoke rounds, you get a proximity fuse, which is nice, and then you also get a better version of the HE round, or frag round, excuse me, which means that this thing is going to be a one-hit wonder at 7.7, and it's a premium. Yeah, you better use my 3% discount if you buy this thing, just saying. Let's go over to Israel. And last but most certainly not least, Israel with their Barak 2, or the F-16 that has a dual seater. That is awesome. Now, they did point out that this has like a different color cockpit. I don't know if that's intentional. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Man, this is a weird looking F-16, man. I wonder what this hump is for. Maybe it's kind of shoot by the looks of it. Maybe there's more sensitive equipment in here. Maybe it's got like jamming pods or something. I don't know. You guys tell me. I want to hear what you have to say about this in the comment section. So please educate me if you can. But here's the big thing, which this has me excited. It gets a lot of laser guided bombs. You get 8 of them. 8 laser guided bombs. And you can also pair that with the 9Ls. And this doesn't get the Pythons? I'm sure it'll get them at some point. I mean, the other version did. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. The 9Ls are still good for the most part, but dude, this right here, I know, right? It doesn't have much explosive mass, but put this on assault fuse and it can be really, really nice. Don't land it on top of vehicles. Always put it to the sides of them or in front of them. Maybe not behind them, but definitely to the front of the sides to guarantee those kills. Because right now, if you drop it on top of tanks, it just, machine gun will eat it for some reason. It's a stupid bug. It's been around for a while. So take my word for it, right? When I do an overview of this, I'll show you what I mean. And then we also have, finally, a new anti-air system, the Chaparral. Can't say, I'm sorry. Right? Same thing as the American one. Nothing different about it. Nothing at all. It's the same. Okay. But what's nice is that Israel finally gets a better launching system. I kind of hope they'll get a SAM system, as in like a 2S6 type vehicle or an ADATS or something. But this, you know what? One step closer to being more efficient. Also, I noticed, is this 10.3? Why is this 10.3? Wait, the American one is 9.3. Why is it 10.3? Is there something different about this? Now that I can see, it looks the same to me. Maybe it's just got a better one. All right, well, we'll get more into this as we get down to it later on. So let's do the final bit. So there you have it. That was everything, at least vehicle-wise. Now, please keep in mind, I know I missed a lot of features. I know there's some new folder changes. There are a ton of things that I probably missed out on, but the purpose of these videos is to showcase the vehicles in their entirety as opposed to every single feature in this game. I know there's machine guns that can be overheated. They actually show it, which is pretty cool. There's also new foldered vehicles or new folders for existing vehicles. There's a ton of things that I know I missed in this video, but to keep everything short and sweet, at least for these overviews anyways, I'd rather not go on a 2-hour-long rant about all the new changes. Okay, I'll leave that to the professionals. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this talking head video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. As always, if you want to discuss, debate anything, use that comment section down below. Let me know exactly what you guys think about this update. Are these changes nice? Do you think they are worth it? Or maybe Gaijin is going over their head with some of the new vehicles. I don't think so. Some of you guys do think, and yes, I get it, a lot of copy paste, but that's kind of a given even in the real world. So anyways, again, don't forget to use that comment section to let me know what you guys think. And as always, if you want to see this gameplay live, you know exactly where to find me over on Twitch, link description below. And don't forget to use my 3% discount link should you decide you want to buy anything, Golden Eagles, whatever. Save yourself some money. I get paid. What's not to love? So again, thank you so much, and I will see you not only in the next video or even the streams, but most certainly in War Thunder itself. And as always, I'll see you next time.